Here we go then, folks. Tunnel time. Travelling companion, Mr. Kerry.
All right.
Tell the ladies and gents where we're off to.
We are off to sunny Belgium for a recce in advance of the World Feeder Championships, Robert. And I can't wait for it.
This is going to be very good. It's going to be a lovely little trip. Obviously, we've got our World Feeder Champs in 4 weeks now.
Yeah,
4 weeks.
So it's the first week of October is the Feeder Champs, and the venue that we're going to, it's like one of those venues where the fish migrate there. So we haven't been able to even go or anything all year. So we felt this was the first opportunity we'd be able to go and like actually see what it might be like, and it's exciting. We've heard it's a bit like a big Bow Beach in terms of to sum it up how it looks like.
If you can imagine the biggest English reservoir.
Yeah, times two.
Times 2 or 3. It sounds absolutely huge. Now, yeah. I don't know if we can get a lot of idea about the fishing on this trip, because I think the fish are migratory. They're coming from the river system next door to the lake, and
it's a massive river system. You look on the map, there's like literally just
water everywhere. It's like a city of water, isn't it, around there?
Looks brilliant.
So we're just about to get on the tunnel. We've just done, well, I've done 3.5 hours, and Lee, what was it for you?
What?
Bit further north you are, aren't you? So,
no, it's 2 hours further for me, so 5.5 hours to get down here, but we're here. We're
next time you see us, we'll no doubt be on the bank, or maybe even at a tackle shop, or at the digs. We don't know where we're going at the minute, do we? But you'll see us on the other side. First look at the venue. So this will be C section. We've just drove round from E section. Most of the pegs are in a line, but there's just this big bay that they've got to leave out. So I mean, it's horrendous weather today. I think it's gonna be nice weather tomorrow.
The call here starts C1.
Okay.
So just when we're there.
Yeah, you fish here a lot?
Yes.
It's good. Okay, good area.
I do also
Is
the competition.
This in the competition here tomorrow?
So we can watch tomorrow.
Perfect.
Tomorrow, yes.
Perfect.
With our club,
Yeah.
It's Belgian Championship for clubs.
Yeah,
Tomorrow,
Belgian Championship for clubs.
13 teams, I think.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Perfect opportunity for us.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Okay.
Looks
Great.
perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
So there we go, C section. We've got a chance to watch a few anglers here tomorrow as well. Obviously big, wild venue. I mean,
this
it's raining
is the narrow
today.
bit here,
This is the narrow bit. Yeah, this is the narrows. So, I mean, what's the wind forecast today? Like 5 mile an hour wind.
Yeah, literally nothing. Yeah.
And there's still a wind on the water.
Across the other side, it's horrific, isn't it?
Yeah, I imagine when you get a 20 mile an hour wind on this, it is
fun.
Yeah, it's proper. So we're going to get a few drinks, and now the plan is, like I say, get a few drinks and then get our gear out and have a quick go. Hopefully we don't get too wet this afternoon.
Westy, how are you going to manage this long walk to your peg? Have you got anything to manage this?
I've got an electric barrel to get me that far.
That'll get you that far.
Just hold on a sec. Can you make sure that my pipe, slippers and cravat is ready for tonight?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Yeah. So we've got these two guys here, Adam and Steve, plumbing up with Tom Mertens, who comes to help us, and then Will and Mick are so super duper keen that they've already got their gear out, and they've been having a bit of a plumb up down there as it is. So we'll just if we pop down here, the guys might tell us what sort of depth we're looking at. Oh, software update. So we don't know what the depth is. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a quick chat with Will down here, so you guys can see the level of effort.
One thing to consider as well, one of the reasons why we came out here is that tomorrow is the World Club Championships qualifier for Belgium for the feeder clubs.
Yeah.
So there's a real big match going off here tomorrow. So that's another another reason why we came out at this time, because we get to see a live match. The guys are fishing, they're going to be fishing hard to try and qualify for the World Club Championship.
How important, tell the guys at home how important these like early trips can be.
It's not just about the fishing, it's more about logistics, because these guys now, we're going to have 3 days fishing. They're going to know when they get home, they're going to know what rods they're going to need, and it's just familiarising itself where the sections are, where you're parking. Even we've been to the tackle shop this morning, which is amazing.
Yeah, we've met the
bait
club guy, and he's shown us exactly where to go. So it takes a lot of pressure off. So Will's here. Will, have you had a little plumb up?
Yeah, it's a lot deeper than what I thought it would be.
Yeah. At what sort of depth do you reckon it is?
Well, on an 1.5 ounce bomb, you've got like a 7 count, so I think it's probably.
Oh wow, yeah, 30 foot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're talking very deep. Yeah.
Even close in, even on an underarm flick, it's still very deep.
Wow. So look, this is just. I mean, it's nice for you guys to see. The banks look pretty easy. Apparently we will be allowed to put our front legs in the water, but the water's absolutely crystal clear, as you would imagine with a gravel works, and with it being so clear, but literally you can't see the bottom 3 meters out, so it must drop off. Mick's looking super professional down there, all ready to go. So there we have it. That is a little bit of an update.
One thing as well, species.
Yes, tell them what species we think there might be it.
Bream, big roach, small roach, odd perch, very odd skimmer, asp, and a load of pike, which don't count.
Yeah, pike don't count. So let's give you a little bit of an insight. This is our first look. The rain's starting to come down, so I'm going to put the phone away. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch up with you all a bit later.
See you later.
Day 2.
So here's a nice treat for us all. We've got a match to watch today. This is one of the Belgium club championships. All the top teams in Belgium are fishing today on the venue. A totally different day to yesterday. Beautiful day for being out on the bank. Not a breath of wind though. And what's been really interesting is we've spotted some bream shoals at big distances. We're talking like 100 metres, 150 metres out, but you can see the bream on the surface. You see the fins of the bream sticking out. So either they're feeding on something, or because the air pressure's changed, they've come right up in the water. But apparently it happens quite a lot here. They're way up off the bottom. And we're about an hour into the competition so far, and there's not a lot of big fish being caught. So been some roach, been some smaller fish, but they're all hoping for a few of those bream later on, I think. But what an impressive place. Like I say, really good opportunity for us to watch some very good Belgium anglers doing what they do. It's a brilliant setup, this venue. So if I pan round, you can see how big this bit of the match length is. It's on a bit of a bend, but it's reasonably straight. All the pegs are equal distance apart, and then we've got this level above the anglers where spectators and the officials can all walk along and watch without disturbing the anglers. And something that was really good this morning that we don't get in our UK matches when we're fishing international style events is they have bait checks, they have pre-baiting periods, and everything is basically replicating the world champs. So you know, these guys, when they do qualify for a world club champs or they qualify to fish for their national team, they know exactly what the procedure is, and they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to the world champs. So I think that's something, you know, we ought to be looking at when we look at our UK style feeder fishing. If we're trying to replicate world champs fishing, we need to be looking at doing those bait checks and fishing to the proper world champs rules. So my job for today is to see what these anglers are catching, try and pick up a bit of information, and then tomorrow we're going to have another fish See if we can pick up a few more little tidbits to take back to the UK.
Day 3.
A fantastic day on the bank. We've all caught a few fish. Had a few roach, bream, perch. There's Wester. What a man. Dean. Had Jamie here, Rich Wilson, Mick, Will that way. And if we pan round, we've got Lee next peg, and Adam and Steve were just past Lee. And they've just packed up. But it's been a fantastic day. The sun's shine on us today, and we've had plenty of fish. It's been good fishing. So tomorrow's session is all the way over there. We're planning on going on that island there. That's an island. So we're going to drive over there. We can get right behind our pegs there. It's an early finish tomorrow, so we're thinking drive right behind the pegs, and then we can pack up quick and get off to the tunnel. I can't tell you what a beautiful venue this is. Absolutely amazing. So folks, we are waiting in the queue for passport. We're at the tunnel, ready to go home. We just drove for 5 hours at a Burger King. Lee Carey's just having pudding. Talk to me about our little trip away and what we've learned and what we can take home.
First of all, they were right when they said flake was the crumbliest, flakiest milk.
Have you made a mess?
I've made a lot of mess, yeah.
Look at the mess in the back of my van, look. You can get back there.
I'm saying
dead worms.
The mess in your van has made a vast improvement on the current standard of the van, which needs a lot of TLC.
Dead worms, maggots escaped. Yeah, not ideal. Okay,
I'll talk about that. So yeah, we've just got back. We've had a couple of days practice. Really interesting practice. Really interesting. It's a great big reservoir. It's a bit like we've talked about it before in this video. And we've had 2 really good days. Like, we watched a match on Sunday, and then we went on the same pegs on the Monday and caught really well. We caught really well. We learned loads about the venue. We learned loads about how to catch the fish well. We've done that a lot when we've been away, you know. We've had great days, and sometimes I find when you go away, learning how to catch the fish well, Rob, like having a good day, it's almost the easiest part, isn't it? And then it becomes this, like, how many mistakes then suddenly come out of the woodwork. Do you understand what I mean? So, like, we had a good run of catching, say, some small roach, and you think, oh, this is good, we're catching a few roach, but then all of a sudden, mistake, yeah, I think it all falls apart.
I think these trips are about refining certain tactics, but also not getting too bogged down in the details, because in 3 weeks, 4 weeks time, it could change totally. What I want to do is talk about the match that we watched, because isn't it interesting and isn't it great to see an international style event in a domestic scene? So when we have our matches, they're very rarely, if ever, run to any sort of international style rules. Yeah. And when especially when you're picking a club to represent your country, or picking anglers to represent your country, those guys need to be, they need to know what those rules entail. They need to get a feel for the timings. You want the best guys or girls to go and represent your country on that stage, and I think you need to mimic those world rules as much as possible.
I mean, when you bear in mind the FEEDER rules have only been going like 10 or 12 years, these guys, they're like, it's second nature. So they've got bait checks, all the bait measured in litres. They're not stressing or worried about it. The bait's just there ready, and this is like, from all standards, it's an important match for them, but they've obviously, like,
bloodworm, joker, you know, like, all those baits thrown into the mix.
Like any fishing match, but it becomes what you're used to. So, like, the best guys there, you could tell the guys who
their setup was immaculate. They were like clockwork, weren't they?
And then you look at the guys who are maybe coming want to take part in the big match, but they're still following the rules, and it was brilliant to watch. I felt there was like tension of the match just watching it, like, because it was also official. I think sometimes a knock-up or whatever is fun, but I think when they have it was official, you could see they were all enjoying the situation. They were all enjoying the competition, if you know what I mean.
I just like as well, I like the structure to the rules, so you feel like no one is getting an advantage by doing something, because it's serious. There's a serious nature to it all, isn't there?
Absolutely, absolutely. So it was great to watch, and it was, you know, there was some fish, there was all sorts of different fish caught, different techniques to use. It's great watching other countries as well, Rob, because it just shows how sheep-like we can be as anglers, because we, regardless of, you know, I think that we all fish very well and in a good style in England, but we've all got a style. You go to Belgium, they've got the Belgium style. You're talking about the current world champions. Talking about, so this is a style that works to win world championships. It's amazing. You can see little English influences here and there, but then you can see like that traditional, you know, like I saw a lot more cage feeders than what we use.
Yeah,
you know, for example.
There's
so
lots of different differences.
Lots of stuff going on. There's lots of stuff going on.
Right, because I'm losing my place in the queue. I'm going to let you finish it, Blake. We're going to try and get through passport control, and hopefully we'll be back in 3 or 4 weeks' time for the World Champs, and we'll have the result we want. Until next time, folks, tight lines. See you later.